Rally dished up all sorts of obstacles for the crews, including that infamous vanities crossing that claimed car in the night stage. On a tricky left-hander, the experienced Davidson in a Nissan clipped a tree stump, ending his rally. It was a sad end to a brilliant challenge, but Davidson had put in on unfamiliar territory. It cost him a sure second out race. His face tells the story. The mechanics worked feverishly, but to no avail.
We're just coming up here to what we call left 7, and there's a stump on the inside, and unfortunately we clipped it. It was enough to break the steering arms on the left side, and it was just a matter of which tree we were going to hit and how fast we were going to go when we hit it.
And how much damage is there to the car?
Oh, not too bad. It's just we'll drive it out.
Okay, but it's more or less the end of the rally for you at this stage?
Oh yeah, it's the end of the rally, all right. We're pretty disappointed about that, but that's rallying.
The next to run into trouble was Murray Coote. He had a flat tyre. Although that doesn't sound too much of a drama, remember, it takes time to change it. And in doing so, you give the time it takes to your nearest rival. Coote took about 2.5 minutes to change the tyre, and at that time, the luckless car passed him at the stage. Although he wasn't actually leading, he could see his fortunes changing. The run of luck, though, was just about to run out on him, just further up the road when the Starion turbocharger failed. Car was lucky in that he could live to the end of the stage where the mechanics were waiting. Meanwhile, Edie and Clark were locked in a confrontation all of their own. Edie proving that youth is no barrier to the experienced Clark as they led into the Esanda hairpin. The crowds had returned to the forests in a big way at the now famous Esanda hairpin. Thousands of people gathered to watch the cars all try the classic handbrake turn. Some got it right, others, well... The pressure was now on for second and third. Although Carr was fourth after the turbo replacement, he set out and showed the four-wheel drive brigade he could either beat them or equal their times. On the short Stromlo stage, Edie equaled Carr's time. Clark was next fastest, then Officer and the Starion with Coote next. Coote at this point had all but an unbeatable lead. It was now obvious that the Australian Championship was firmly in his sights. At this point, it would have been a foolish driver who would have driven flat out when the championship was in sight. Jim Middleton in the Commodore continued to be one of the favourites with the spectators, although not really suited to the tight forestry roads around Canberra. Middleton proved there was no substitute for cubic inches. His 10th place proved that. Veteran Norm Fritter was after the prize for the most close shaves. With the scenery, his perseverance was what is basically a Bathurst racer rewarded with 14th outright. Adrian Taylor continued to lead the front-wheel drive class in a solid 8th place. He beat Murray Coote on this stage by 2 seconds. Coote continued to drive conservatively, with both a win and the championship in his sight. Carr was fastest again on the next stage, with Clark 4 seconds behind. Edie and Clark battled away, with only seconds separating their overall times. One small mistake would cost either one of them dearly. Ed Ordinsky in the Brixton Subaru soldiered on. With the ailing Subaru, he had blown one of the oil rings on a piston. It was a real case of fill up the oil and check the petrol boys. The Christian Autosport entry at Peter Anderson carried on in their reliable fashion. Their consistent efforts would be rewarded, with 15.5 seconds in their class. Murray Walker, the other half of the New Zealand contingent, showed that World Championship competition really does sharpen up your driving. His 12th place put many Australian drivers to shame, considering that he was driving a standard Suzuki, with Clark and Eadie just about equal. Who would be second? With only the fastest stage left in the rally, called the Pinnacle, it was imperative for neither driver to make a mistake. Clark was now incredibly only 1 second in front of Eadie. Clark was fastest on this stage by 1 second from Carr. He was still trying in the distant hope that he would pressure either of them into a mistake, thus earning second place. It's in these circumstances that champions like Carr never give up. He didn't think that he could catch Coote, but he certainly could apply the pressure. It's just another technique that drivers use to win. Meanwhile, Ordinsky coaxed the 6 Subaru along. After all the distance and effort, it was important to finish. Stage, David Eadie took all the risks and beat Clark by 7 seconds to take second place. The smile on Coote's face tells it all. Winner and Australian Rally champion.
How's that feel, Murray?
Yeah, that's good. That's a pretty good stage there, I reckon.
But the championship's yours and the rally's yours. Yeah. It's all come together.
Yeah, no, it's been long and tough, and it's good to get through all that.
It's also been a long road to win the rally championship as well.
It has, yes. It's probably our first serious go, but probably had the best car and had a really good run with it, yeah.
Right. Who got it? You got it, did you? By what?
4 seconds. What? This stage by 4.6, all up.
So you're in second spot? After all that?
Yeah.
6 seconds in it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. That's the way it goes, Max.
But third place, still not a disappointment.
No, we were quite happy to poke along with our front wheel drive and try and keep third, and then once we got 4-wheel drive back, we'll give David the run for his money, but he just drove too well at the end there.
Esanda has once again been delighted to be associated with this Esanda rally. To have it the first year here in Canberra has been absolutely fantastic. We'd like to thank the Canberra people for being so responsive to this rally. It's been tremendous. And thank you also for turning on typical Australian Capital Territory weather for us. But anyway, congratulations to the Queenslanders. Murray Coote, well done. And his navigator, because without Ian, congratulations to Ian Stewart as well.